The only sound in the vast, dim room was the ragged rhythm of Ilara's own breathing. Dust motes danced in the single beam of moonlight slicing through the tall, arched window illuminating the cavernous space she found herself in. She sat small and alone on the edge of a velvet chaise, the silence so profound it felt like a physical weight. Then, a sudden, sharp creak shattered the stillness, echoing from somewhere deep within the floors above. Ilara's heart leaped into her throat, a cold dread washing over her as she shot to her feet, her eyes wide and fixed on the darkness looming at the top of the grand staircase. The sound was unnatural, a splintering of old wood that spoke of a heavy, deliberate weight. With trembling hands, she lit a single candle, its small flame pushing back the oppressive shadows just enough to see her own pale, frightened face reflected in a nearby mirror. The wax dripped onto her fingers, a hot sting that grounded her for a moment. Tucking a deep, shuddering breath, she began her ascent. The grand staircase, carved from dark, imposing wood, seemed to stretch endlessly into the gloom. Each step she took groaned in protests, the sound echoing through the cavernous house, a mournful symphony accompanying the frantic beat of her heart. The candlelit threw long, dancing shadows against the walls, twisting familiar shapes into monstrous figures that seemed to watch her every move. She clutched the candlestick tighter, the flickering flame her only shield against the encroaching darkness. At the top of the stairs, a single door stood ajar, leading into a dusty, forgotten attic. Cobwebs hung like ghostly veils from the rafters, and the air was thick with the smell of decay and forgotten time. In the very center of the room, bathed in a sliver of moonlight, sat a small, ornate wooden box. It seemed to call to her, a dark jewel in the sea of dust. Her feet moved on their own, drawn by an invisible string. Kneeling before it, she slowly, hesitantly, lifted the lid. Inside, nestled on a bed of faded velvet, was a porcelain doll. Its painted eyes stared blankly. Its lips were pursed in a perfect bow, and its face was a perfect, miniature replica of her own. A gasp escaped her lips as she stared, mesmerized and horrified, at the tiny effigy. The resemblance was uncanny, down to the single loose curl of hair by her temple. She reached out a finger to touch its cold, porcelain cheek. An immense shadow fell over her, blotting out the moonlight. Her head snapped up. A colossal, shadowy hand descended from the heavens above, its fingers like ancient trees. It reached past her, into the box, and with surprising gentleness, plucked the porcelain doll from its velvet bed. The walls of the room dissolved, the ceiling vanished, and the terrible truth dawned. The grand house was nothing but a dollhouse, and she, Ilara, was just another doll, frozen in place, waiting for the owner to play again.